invite you to join with me in the invocation. Heavenly Father, on this Memorial Day, as we unveil the Snohomish City Veterans Memorial Obelisk, we ask you to help us to be thankful and never forget all the men and women from our community who over the years have faithfully served our country in our military. Today we especially remember all those who gave their lives to help make our freedom secure and to keep our liberty alive. We ask that you would comfort those families for whom this Memorial Day is a reminder of their loved ones who have died during a time of war and conflict. Help us not to overlook those in our community who now live daily with the physical, emotional, spiritual, and moral wounds that they received during their military service. We pray that you would grant them healing. Bless those who work with our wounded warriors. Help us to honor their sacrifices by using our liberty in this moment. Oh God, we thank you for the many freedoms we have and that we enjoy today because of the military service of the millions of our fellow citizens throughout our district. Please bless our gathering this Memorial Day afternoon. I ask this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
think that should be the other way around. She is almost like my boss. First of all, good afternoon, and thank you for the warm welcome, Sherry. And thank all of you for joining us today at the historic unveiling of the Snohomish Veterans Obelisk. Today, as we come together as a community, I stand before you as a proud member of the United States Coast Guard. I was telling Sherry earlier that it was exactly 53 years ago today at 1 p.m. or in the military we called it 1300 that I graduated from Coast Guard boot camp in Alameda, California. And they told me I was coming to Washington State, and being from a little town in Louisiana, I wasn't sure where Washington State was, but I'm glad they sent me to Washington State. First, it is an occasion to recognize the return of the Snohomish Veterans Memorial to these beautiful grounds of this historic Carnegie building. I believe Mayor Redmond will be sharing more about the history of this monument and how the community came together to help move it during the building's renovation, as well as safely return it home. But I'm just going to say this. This is a stunning location at the heart of this incredible community, so we should give ourselves a big hand. This is great. It is a time for Snohomish veterans and their family to gather here. Today we are joined by the American Legion Post 96, Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 921, their auxiliaries, and several other organizations. The American Legion stand as a pillar of strength and support for those who have served. Since its establishment nearly a century ago, the Legion has been dedicated to the welfare of veterans, their families, and the communities they call home, like Snohomish. The VFW has been a beacon of support for our veterans for over a century. It was founded by the veterans themselves with the aim of providing camaraderie, assistance, and advocacy for those who have worn the uniform of our nation. The VFW has been a tireless advocate fighting for the rights and benefits of veterans like myself and those here today. It is an honor to stand with local leaders from both organizations. Lastly, but most importantly, we are here today to pay tribute to our fallen heroes and the families who have borne the unimaginable loss, the Gold Star families among us. For every fallen hero, there is a family left behind forever impacted by the loss of their son, daughter, spouse, or parent. Our Gold Star families carry a heavy burden that few can fully comprehend, and yet they have shown remarkable courage, dignity, and unwavering support for our armed forces. I would like to ask for a moment of silence to honor those brave individuals who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. In times of conflict and danger, the men and women of our armed forces step forward to protect our shores and safeguard our national interests. They selflessly embrace the call of duty, always driven by their commitment to honor and country. This is a day we pay respect to all those who didn't come home. Not to be confused with Veterans Day, Memorial Day is not a celebration. It is a day of solemn contemplation over the cost of freedom. Thank you for coming today to help honor those service members who called Snohomish home, but never made it home. Thank you for being here.
Mayor Redmond to come up for their remarks.
I'm Otis Wolf. I have the honor and privilege of being Commander, District 1, Department of Washington for the VFW. I've been a member here in Snohomish. I'm born and raised here. This will be brief. In 2012, I was brand new in the VFW. I was asked to attend a ceremony for the move of the Veterans Memorial to GAR Cemetery for for its safety while construction was being done. The building restored in all its glory, we then started planning the Veterans Plaza. We seem to have succeeded. A few weeks ago, I was thinking about 2012 and realized, with the exception of Elmer Johnson and myself, we're the only two living representatives of the Veterans of Foreign Wars at that time. So I decided to recognize my mentors today. Gray Hammer, Clyde Fields, Gil Schwartzmiller, and John Fawcett. I wanted to let them know mission accomplished. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Senator Lovett, thank you for your remarks. Today is a proud day in my military career. 32 years ago today, I graduated from the United States Naval Academy, walked across the stage, shaking General Stormy Norman's hand and grabbed my diploma. Before I get started with my formal remarks, today I'm representing the American Legion Post 96 down the street as their vice commander. And at the cemetery, we honored those who have passed away from our post this year. But I'd be remiss if I didn't honor one of those fallen comrades, Rick Alice, who was our stalwart leader at the post. He was our financial officer. He was involved in everything that we did at the American Legion. And he was also the past president of Historic Downtown Snohomish Society. So at this moment, I'd like to take a moment of silence to honor Rick. Thank you. Thank you for attending our great ceremony today. We are indeed honoring and remembering those Americans who paid the ultimate sacrifice, serving the armed forces of the United States of America, defending our Constitution and way of life. It is all those who have gone before us that have allowed us to have the freedoms and liberties that we enjoy today. Today is a great day for many reasons. Not only are we honoring our fallen comrades, we're here today to unveil the Snohomish Veterans Memorial placed on its plinth in this beautiful new plaza in Carnegie Library, its original location for many years. There are many people that need to be thanked for making this a reality. First, I want to thank Melody Clemens. And the Carnegie Foundation for many years of hard work and effort to not only renovate and beautify the library, but their steadfast dedication to creating a Veterans Memorial at this location. Next, I want to thank the mayor and her staff for assisting with all the red tape and logistical support to make this memorial a reality. I also want to thank the Snohomish Veterans community, specifically Earl Weinhardt, Post 96 of the American Legion, and Gay Jones, Post 921 of the Veteran of Foreign Wars. Earl Weinhardt and Gay Jones were both Snohomish High School graduates, and both were killed in the Argonne Battle in France, World War I. Their legacy lives on in the hard work and dedicated service of these two organizations. Finally, I want to specifically acknowledge the many hours, days, weeks, and years of effort by Post 96 and 921 member Tom Krangle, who chaired the Snohomish Veterans Memorial Committee, driving numerous discussions, organizing and unifying efforts, and providing the vision of what you see here today. Tom is an extremely valuable member of the veteran community, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that he is the 2023 Washington Army National Guard Volunteer of the Year. Earlier today, we held a similar ceremony on Friday. We had numerous volunteers helping us place the flags on veteran grave sites. Snohomish High School's Panther Pals, high school student mentors with their elementary school partners, were a large part of that force. Their club advisor, Eliza Navarro, gave them each a penny to place on the grave where they placed the flag. This is a tradition that dates back many years, and it's more than just a penny. simply denotes that you stopped and paid your respects. A nickel, you attended boot camp with them. A dime, you served in the armed forces with them. A quarter, you were with them when they were killed in battle. We want community members and veterans to feel free to do the same at this memorial for many years to come. This memorial is not only a place to honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice and served our nation, but also a place of peace, tranquility, and reflection. As a leader in our veteran community, it's not only a place for us, but also all of you as well. We hope that you'll enjoy it for many years to come. Thank you for attending, and thank you for listening.
Thank you all for gathering here today as we bring this memorial obelisk back to the heart of our city. Thank you, Senator Leavitt, for your service, for being with us today, and for your assistance in supporting the city and returning the Carnegie to a space that allows the community to gather for events such as this one. Thank you to the Legion and the VFW for their work to make sure bringing this memorial back was done right. I also want to thank, on behalf of the Snohomish community, all of those before us who saw a need and stepped forward to create what we rededicate today, the Snohomish Community Veterans Memorial. Back in 1960, members of the Auxiliary of the American Legion at Reinhardt Post number 96 were seeking lists of our fallen heroes, but found that lists did not exist and that these names were being forgotten. Rallying other members of patriotic service organizations, including the American Legion at Reinhardt Post number 96, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Gay Jones Post number 921 and its auxiliary, the Morton Women's Relief Corps number 32, and the World War I Veterans Barracks 1173, they formed a committee whose work, along with participation of many members of the community, resulted in the obelisk you will see here today. The original dedication was held on May 30, 1961, and the obelisk stood until it was moved to the GAR Cemetery in order to protect it during the recent remodeling of the Carnegie Building and grounds. While our heroes had a good vantage point there for the annual Memorial Day services, it was always intended that they would be brought back to this site. Last year, a Veterans Memorial Committee was convened with members of the community, including members of the Carnegie Foundation, the Legion, the VFW and their auxiliaries, and veterans from the community. Over multiple meetings, this group determined what the new space for the memorial would look like. Although they had planned additional elements for the site, their first order of business was returning the memorial obelisk to the center of our city. I wish to thank them for their dedication and continued service to the community. I know they intend to see the rest of this project through to the end. I also want to thank the city staff that put so much care into this project. They really wanted to show respect for this memorial, and I think they did a great job. Lastly, I want to thank all of you here today who have come to pay respect to those members of our community who gave their lives in service to our country and to their families. We honor those we've lost and their families for their sacrifices. We hope that having a memorial back on this site will keep our fallen heroes at the center of our community's events for generations to come. I'd like to now invite the representatives of the Legion, the VFW, and their auxiliaries to come up for the unveiling of the memorial.
Thank you so much. We'd like to take a moment now to invite community members who would like to come up and place a flower at the obelisk to do so.
Okay, what did she say? How you doing? I was wondering who was cheering on.
Not enough of a distraction. Yeah.
Thank you so much again for joining us today. This concludes the ceremony. We do have refreshments inside if you'd like to stay. We encourage you. This is your memorial at the heart of your eternity, so please stay and have a good
Good to have them with